My friends, how are you? It's fantastic to see you for yet another video. And today we have a direct hit from Donald Trump on most likely Donald Trump supporters and Donald Trump voters, as a Home Depot has announced they are closing an entire distribution center in Tennessee. But you're the only 10 I see. So to get back to the point, this is obviously fascinating news as Donald Trump continues to cause massive carnage and chaos and destruction to the American people. It is my duty, my friends, to get on this channel and report all the horrible things that Donald Trump is doing. And I don't get a whole lot of pleasure out of it, but I do get a little bit excited when I get to point out to what was most likely Donald Trump's base, Donald Trump supporters, how it is exactly that Donald Trump is screwing them over. It's a wake-up call to America, my friends, to try to get them to start paying attention. And it is unfortunate, but the pain and the suffering and the struggle is something that the Republican voters need to go through at this point, mainly so they can get their heads out of their asses and start paying attention to policy and cause an effect when Donald Trump does a bunch of knuckleheaded bullshit, instead of focusing on owning the libs and the genitals of everybody trying to use the bathroom. Maybe they can start focusing on actual fucking issues now, instead of all this other bullshit. And I wanted to talk about something real quick that bothered me this morning, and then we'll get more into what's going on. But did you guys know it's starting to get cold outside right now? I woke up this morning and it was 30 degrees outside the truck. My friends, I went out there. I had to walk across the truck stop parking lot to go get me something to drink. And I got out of the truck. It was so cold out there that my dick literally shrank up to the average size of the normal Donald Trump supporters. And for a few minutes, I understood why they are such grumpy people. I felt inadequate. I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed. I felt I wasn't good enough. And I walked across that truck stop parking lot, just a grumpy, tiny little man, just blaming the world for all of my problems. But don't you worry. Once I got back in the truck and got warmed up and everything returned to normal, then I proceeded to return to my normal everyday self, where I didn't feel like an inadequate little man. But for a few minutes, I understood what it is that goes through their heads, and I just wanted to get that off my chest. These tiny pee-pee sons of bitches out here making life harder for every one of us. So let's get back to the point, shall we? Home Depot has announced they have a distribution center called HD Supply. I've only ever seen a few of these in my life. I know I've delivered to a couple. I honestly didn't know it was Home Depot or Home Depot related until just today when I was checking out this article. And they have announced that they are going to close down an entire distribution center in Laverne, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, the country music headquarters, Nashville. Yeah, that music has done a lot of damage to America, hasn't it? Do you remember, my friends? Look, I'm a fucking hillbilly. I look like one. I just don't talk like one, right? But I remember when country music was about rebellion against the system, when it was about smuggling moonshine and shit like that. And somewhere along the lines, the vast majority of country music turned into bootlicking the billionaires and talking about owning the libs and the bullshit that they're on and on about. And I kind of lost respect for a lot of country musicians over the years because it's easy for them to sit in their fucking ivory towers off of all their record and ticket sales and fucking make songs cheering for war. You remember Toby Keith? He'd be like sitting in his little ivory tower, like celebrating sending poor Americans off to war to kill poor people in the Middle East. And he made a lot of money off of that now, didn't he? And it's turned into this just awful, fucking gross, disgusting thing in culture for the most part. Now, I know there are some country musicians out there speaking out against the regime, but we need more. We need fucking more. I miss those hillbilly roots when it was all about rebellion and fuck the system and, everything that it used to be. It's straight up fucking pathetic at this point, my friends. These men are absolutely disgusting with their worship of Donald Trump. And on that note, fuck Kid Rock. I still don't like that son of of a bitch either. I remember when I would never say Kid Rock was talented. Yes, I'm getting back to the point. I would never say he was talented, but he had that rebellious attitude about him, and now he's just a Donald Trump bootlicker, just a weak, pathetic little man, that Kid Rock. But back to the fucking point, as I always have a tendency to get sidetracked. So they've announced this closure of the distribution center. Blue collar workers, paycheck to paycheck kind of people, which unfortunately means there's a huge probability that they were Trump voters. And when Home Depot talked about it, they had talked about oh god, the reasons for why they are closing this particular distribution center. And this one is only like 105 jobs, I think, and I'm well aware of the UPS with the 45,000 employees and all that shit that's going on, but this is significant because this particular distribution center closing speaks right to the fucking heart of the issues that Donald Trump has caused in America. And I get a lot of dork fuck Donald Trump supporters in my comments all the time, and they say, all you ever do is blame Donald Trump for everything that's going on. And this is coming from the group that spent the last 4 years blaming Joe Biden for everything that they said was wrong in your life, even though the Joe Biden administration came in, was left with a huge fucking mess from when Donald Trump crashed the economy due to his mismanagement of COVID. It was starting to crash before that. He just kind of finished it off. And through the Joe Biden administration, America's economy was the envy of the world as we had pulled ourselves out of this horrible, horrible economy that Donald Trump had left us. And they've spent the last 4 years going, Joe Biden, Joe Biden. And all the things they blamed Joe Biden for was actually shit that Donald Trump fucking left us with. It's just fucking stupid. But now they want me to let up and say, you got to stop blaming Donald Trump for everything that's going on. Do you know why I blame Donald Trump for everything that's going on? Because I'm a rational, reasonable, responsible person that bothers to figure out what the fuck is going on in the world. And every problem we are dealing with in America all goes back to Donald Trump at this point. The last 4 years under Joe Biden were quiet and peaceful. I couldn't have dreamed of starting this channel under the Biden administration and actually grown a fucking channel. It was boring. It was boring fucking politics, and that's what this country really needs. I like this channel. I enjoy doing it. It's like a scary thing, kinda. But the point is that I'm trying to make, I kind of sometimes would rather have that really quiet life, that calm life that we all lived the last 4 years, unless you're a hysterical lunatic listening to fucking Fox News tell you what you think. The rest of us were living a pretty peaceful life. I got all my goddamn fingernails chewed off and chew them till they fucking bleed now these days. I can't fucking sleep. Goddamn anxiety's got me up all night. Then I wake up every morning in a fucking panic attack wondering what's going on in the world. Yeah, I miss the quiet days. I mean, I like the channel and all, but I don't know how much my old heart can take of this shit. The point is, the reason I blame Donald Trump for everything that's going on is because Donald Trump is the fuck up that is fucking up everything for everyone else. And if it's not Donald Trump, it is these spineless, cowardly elected Republicans that will not stand up to Donald Trump. I got to give a little bit of credit to some Republicans out there that voted in the Senate against Donald Trump's tariffs, but it doesn't do a whole lot of good because MAGA Mike Johnson has the House shut down while they're on permanent fucking paid vacation over there. It doesn't do really anything at this point, but there were some Republicans that did vote just last week against all of Donald Trump's tariffs in the Senate to shut those motherfuckers down. I just wish that it would go somewhere. That's all I wish. But back to the point of the Home Depot thing. They were able to link this to the thing we know is the problem with all of this, and it is Donald Trump's fucking tariffs. And there's more to it. It's more things also, but it is the weakened supply chain due to Donald Trump's illegal trade wars that he has started with every other country on the fucking planet, that has caused not only Home Depot but business after business to go to layoffs and closing shit down and all kinds of things. Because when you jack up the cost on the American people, then the American people can afford less. That's the way it works. And when you do that, you cause ripples and breaks in in the fucking supply chain that leads to more and more job loss, right? So when you ask me why do I blame Donald Trump, it's because he's the fucker that's doing all of it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If you could get your boy to stop causing so much carnage in America so I could have a fucking day off to just relax, I'd appreciate it. But that's going to take some work on your side, Trump supporters, to fucking stand up to the bullshit. Stop being a weak, pathetic person and acknowledge that all of this is fucking wrong, and you don't support Americans losing their jobs. You don't support fucking businesses getting closed down, or just continue to be a submissive beta boy for Donald Trump. It's not up to me what you decide to do with your life. But obviously, a lot of this comes in from the tariffs, right? It turns out that when you increase the prices on the American people dramatically through illegal trade wars, that projects like home improvement tend to take a back burner to things that are going on. We'd all like to fix a few things here and there in our house, now wouldn't we? But we are stuck in a situation now where Donald Trump, the regime, is actively trying to starve Americans. The regime is actively trying to double, triple, and quadruple your healthcare cost. The regime has raised your prices on just about fucking everything through their trade wars, and when you put all that together, that's more than enough. That's way too much on our plate as American citizens. But when you put all of that together, maybe that broken toilet seat can wait just a little while. Maybe the trim you need to put around the door because the cat scratched it up can wait a little while. And those are real world examples from my own home. I have a broken toilet seat. I need to go replace the fucking thing, and the cat scratched up the trim because the dog's a terrorist and we have to keep the cats separated from them, and it's been a whole clusterfuck is what I'm trying to tell you. But those projects have to wait, and because we have to buy food, because we have to do a lot of fucking things, you know. I'm a truck driver. I'm working in a breaking supply chain. There's cuts that have to be made, and the trim and the toilet seat are just gonna have to be put on the back burner. And there are millions of Americans that are going through the same fucking thing. These small projects at home that you can do yourself, you're just not going to do right now. That's the way this fucking works, right? Especially with the tariffs, what used to be a $100 job is now a $300 job at your own fucking house with you doing the goddamn work. What the fuck did they think was going to happen? But on top of that, it gets even fucking worse. Home Depot, as we know, is a massive seller of construction materials in America. I was going to say never mind that they've been tariffed to hell, but we need to consider they've also been tariffed to hell. But you know who's not going out to do the work that we used to have? A reliable workforce working in construction and remodeling and all these fucking things. Well, the regime showed up with fucking ICE, started kicking fucking doors in, said they were going after all the criminals, and instead they were ordered by Stephen Miller to look for the easy targets. Let's go get the grandmas. Let's go get the construction workers. Let's go get the people that are predictable, that get up every day and just want to do their jobs to provide for them and their families. Let's go arrest them instead. So they're grabbing these people up with no due process, sending them off to concentration camps, scaring the living shit out of people that were just trying to make a fucking living, and that whole workforce having to do with construction just said, fuck it then. We can't go to work because we might get arrested, right? So now you've got this whole construction industry that is just on its fucking knees at this point through tariffs and through eliminating their workforce, and you're wondering why the fuck Home Depot is struggling with that? That's why. So ask me again why I blame Donald Trump for everything. He's a fucking lunatic that is fucking everything up for the American people, my friends. You see why that might bother me? You see why that might bother millions of Americans that during the last 4 years were just kind of living their lives and like just trying to get through their normal everyday struggles without a fucking psychotic president adding more to their troubles? You see why it's like that? Fuck, man. Why does he blame Donald Trump all the time? God damn it. I just can't fucking figure it out. God, son of a bitch. Anyways, back to the point, I think. I don't know how much more I have to add to all of this, but yes, I think that Obviously, this is going to be one of the first shoe to drop kind of things when it comes to Home Depot and other organizations like theirs. Their whole business model is basically shot under the Trump regime and the way they go about business. So there is no way to bring this back to try to improve the situation. The confidence in the American economy, domestically and globally, is completely fucking shattered because Donald Trump is a buffoon that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So yes, we see this particular case is only around 100 people. It's only a matter of time now before we start to see actual stores closing, your local Home Depots closing, layoffs coming in at a more and more rapid pace as the destruction that Donald Trump has caused to America continues to fucking escalate. And I always get to this point of the videos where I feel like I have more points, but I don't know. I hope I got all of them. I'm not really that sure. And I also noticed that ever since we hit 100,000 subscribers, I've been a little more self-conscious. Towards the end of the videos, I'm like, was this video all right, guys? And I hope I get over that soon. And I hope this video was all right, too. I got to get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.